Hi everyone, welcome back to the Potsmoker's Bible. My name is Zion. I'm the author of the Potsmoker's Bible, which contains the prophetic book of Zion, where I get my name and authority. It comes from the Ketuvim, or Old Testament of the Hebrew Bible. I use the King James Version of the Christian Bible to put together the prophecy of Israel from the scattered bits and pieces of testimony from the various prophets of Israel of the Old Testament. And it became the Book of Zion, a book written entirely in Bible verse, the prophecy of Israel, the year 2020. And in order to publish it, I had to write the companion book, the Potsmoker's Bible, which is the commentary and dissertation to the Book of Zion. And boy, we are right square in the middle of it. Oh my God, if you guys knew the prophecy the way I did, you would not even believe how close we are. Everything, I mean everything, is right there. Okay, let me just give you a rundown of what needed to happen in order for me to take my place on the world stage. First, I had to give myself to God, the right God, and I had to do it in the right way. I had to, well, okay, first of all, I had to smoke pot or be very traumatized so that I could activate my latent gray DNA and become telepathic, therefore able to be heard by the gray aliens, who are the gods of Israel. So the first thing I had to do was get high. The second thing I had to do was I had to pray to the God of Israel in that name, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And I had to offer myself to that God to serve him. And then I had to keep that fucking promise. Boy, you would not believe how hard it was to serve God all my life. Because I was 17 years old when I gave myself to God. And that, I had to survive being sexually molested as a toddler. And then being molested by other men all throughout my childhood. Which is how I became a telepath. Because I became so horrifically scarred by it that I turned inward. And when I turned inward, I found my inner voice. And so I gave myself to God for the specific purpose of ending the pain and suffering of others on this planet. I had to forsake money and fame and fortune for any other cause. Even though I had seen myself as a rock star in a vision. And I had met 3 of the members of that band. So I knew that I could be a rock star. But I had to turn that down in place of God's service. I had to choose between God and money, God and fame, God and love, God and everything it came out to be. And I had to give my trust to God. I had to allow God to choose for me who I would love, who would be my mate. And no matter what, no matter how far apart me and that person was, I had to stay true to him, and I had to stay true to them, and I had to stay true to me. For this, I had to stay true to you, to everybody else that I wanted to help in the suffering. But don't think that I'm this noble person, because the stipulation was you help me in my pain first. Then I'll help you heal the pain and suffering of others. Because literally I could not have helped anybody in the mental state that I was in. because, oh man, I hit bottom ground running mentally. And I was what psychologists call an untouchable. I had been so physically molested by men, pedophiles, that I could not be touched. To this day, I cannot be touched by anyone without feeling, at the very least, uncomfortable. At the most, panic, fear, anger, because of what had been done to me as a child. And so the Gray had to deal with this horrific childhood of mine before I was in a position to help anybody. And so through, oh God, years of crying out the pain, reliving the pain, literally reliving those horrific moments one by one, so that I can release the pain and release the anger and understand what it had done to me. And they healed me of that pain. Took them years to do it. That's why they call me she who travails, because I cried through that whole process. But slowly, I healed. And that healing helped me to trust them. And then I kept my part of the bargain. First, I studied the Bible with the King James Version of the Bible, which was the Bible I was born and raised with. I read it 5 times. And each time I read it, it got more confusing. Because I was a Christian. I was born and raised a Lutheran. So I had all that Lutheran crap in my head. And I believed all of it. Except for I knew that Jesus believed in the same God that answered my prayers. The God that had proven themselves to me through years of mental work. And so I studied the Bible. And I got so confused, and I'm like, God, would you please help me figure this out? Show me the truth. And then it was like I'm reading the Bible, and then this passage just jumps out at me. The house of the Lord will be a house of prayer for all people, it said. And I thought to myself, wait a minute. If that were true, then every religion on earth would have to be represented in this one temple. So that a priest of this temple would have to know all of the different religions so that they could work with all of the different peoples of the earth. So that a Muslim could stand right next to a Christian and they could both worship God together in their own way. Because that is how it's meant to be, if you believe in God. Now, I don't believe in God as a worshiping thing. I don't worship Ishi or any of the Gray that I know. And believe me, I know a lot of them. They love me. But they don't want me to worship them. They want me to be their friend. They want me to be their companion. They want me to be their voice. And that is what I've chosen to do. Because they have the means to end suffering on this planet. And they have taught me how to do it. They've taught me a form of government that doesn't use money. They've taught me how to communicate with them and how to train others to do the same so that their message can be, so that anybody can communicate with them through a priest if they aren't a priest, so that they can interact with us on a one-on-one basis, not as gods, but as people, because that's what they are. They're people who care, and they're here to help us. And I've set the stage for them to come to Earth and join us and be our friends and teach us all of these cool things that they've taught me and to help us transform society into a society that's worth living in. And they've done it through the Bible, through the Old Testament, the Torah, the Ketuvim. So they've sent me to help you, to end your pain and suffering, because they taught me how to heal you the way they healed me. And they've taught me how to be like them morally. And so I can teach you how to be moral too. So I'm excited because the stage is set now. Trump, the basis of men, has fallen. In just a few days, he'll be gone. Hopefully to prison. Broke, totally broke. I want him to be totally ass fucking broke in prison living on state, or living on his federal income. With Melania having all the cash, because she's smart. But anyway, Trump's gone. And guess what? I'm supposed to be the next big thing. Because Trump came first so that he could show you just how bad and base and immoral and low life you all are. Because you are. Because if you look at Trump, I bet you will find some aspect of his character that reflects on you. That's why you follow him. Because you see a little bit of yourself in that scumbag piece of shit. Well, I bet you, if you take a look at me, take a listen, you'll find more of me in you than him. Because I represent good, light, truth. Nothing fake here, except my teeth. I have false teeth. I had to work 2 full-time jobs for 6 months to pay for these bad boys. That's how poor I am. But I did it. But that's the only thing fake that you will find on my body. No makeup. No fake titties. No fake nothing. Because that's not what I am. I'm everything that Trump is not. Where Trump is peace, where I am peace, he is war. So you've had war. You've seen the baser side of the human nature. Now, let's see what the gray are like. Because like I said, they taught me everything I know. So I can show you how they want you to be. So that you can live in a just society that knows no war. So let's drop all the blood and gore, and let's try some peace and love for a change. Let's try unity. Let's try just being who we are, being good, because we are good. So let's let that asshole go bye-bye, and let's see what a good person can do with the internet. So my name is Zion, and according to the Gray and everybody I know, I'm a good person. So drop Trump. He's a piece of shit. And if you use drugs, listen to me, because I do too. So may the Gray watch over you, guide you, protect you, and keep you from all harm. May they teach you right from wrong, and may you be worthy of them. May your thoughts, words, and deeds reflect truth, good, and light. The unicorn way. Find your joy and pursue it, and let that be your life's work. If you do drugs, stay happy and high. You have every right and reason to. Believe me, I know I wrote the books. My name is Zion. I love you way too much to say Goodbye. Some will say later now.